Didn't let it pass. Rub it in, hope it'll last. Be a friend, if only I could smash. Right around with my team, fighting off the more grasses, fighting off some more fiends, fight to break some more records, and right the what do I see? God body on action, fighting trying to save me. Might need a stretcher, I'm holding on to my cool. Give me a second to call off my goons, so I can pay you back in the name of the moon. So I can pay you back in the name of the moon. Changing form, for you I say a raging swarm. The demons I ain't afraid no more. Come get this cause this place is yours. So can't ignore the fact that I became too short. This should be my
Very dedicated to. I'm a fan.
So what's it what you
I might have exhausted them, but I think I've done pretty decent so far. I'm trying to find songs. Are they talking to us?
I'll be a Sailor Moon.
She said you better see them.
I'll be a Sailor Moon.
If you motherfuckers go listen. Because it's a Sailor Moon. Look at this shit. Thank you, lady.
Take it to the moon.
And it's got, this is perfect. This is my type of shit. Good for her.
I wanna go with you.
I wish her all the happiness.
I'll be a Sailor Moon. You.
We'll put on a tuxedo mask outfit so quick with this shit. Even though the age gap in that has always bothered me, but you know, it doesn't matter.
Go away, spam. Go away.
They are up.
Summertime. They out in these streets and they calling everybody.
They is on, and I don't like it.
Hide your phones, hide your calls, hide your texts. They spamming people, y'all.
They really are. Like, I got I think this past somewhere over the course of this past weekend, I had at least 6 different calls, and I don't like that they be trying to play. Be like, Newark, New Jersey. Like, who's calling me? I don't know anybody.
I don't know anybody in that area.
Wyoming. I watched 2 episodes of Outer Range. Now I'm getting Wyoming calls.
Absolutely not.
All right, that's cool.
Sucks for you guys because I don't answer phone calls anyway. So
That's true.
Unless it is already saved in my phone and it is a family member.
Oh yeah, I don't understand people who answer random calls just in general.
I don't answer calls that I may know who it is. Depending on the situation, I'd be like, oh, they don't want shit. I'll call them back later.
I'm that type of person. I'll save your number so I know not to answer you. People be like, I don't know why you said a number so I know, oh, this is such and such. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about that. Even if it's somebody that I ain't rocking with like that, I don't even have to save your number because you know not to contact me. I've made it clear.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I might rock with you. It's just you've got think back on our conversations. This is the third. Did you complain to me the past 2 conversations? These conversations get dumb. I'm not answering this again. I love you to death. I don't have it for you today, big dog. You can't call me. Let me tell you what happened. No. Nope.
Let me stop you.
I'll tell you right now, man. Let me get off this phone so I can go ahead and vacuum this ceiling. What are you talking about?
I need you provide me with the disclaimer as soon as I get on the phone. All right, look, I got a solution, but first, okay, you got a solution. All right. We might be able to go into this conversation as long as you have a solution. You got 3 minutes before we need to get to the solution. So
it depends on who I'm talking to, because I will tell you in a heartbeat, man. Let me get in here and water this closet.
Water, all of it.
Yeah, I gotta go.
I gotta make sure my shirts is growing. I'm gonna go.
Yep.
I'm gonna go water. Make sure they get some sun real quick.
Yeah, I gotta change the oil on this PS4 or something.
Hey, that is important, man. You got to make sure that your hard drives are lubricated properly, or else it's gonna go out.
Absolutely.
I got to check system light on my.
I know my
Xbox.
Lies. I know I personally make lies that are super vicious, so I can just double down on the fact you wouldn't listen anyways. I'll tell the motherfucker I got a braiding appointment. I gotta go get my hair braided. Oh, okay, you gotta go right now. Right now,
right now. They gonna hang up with it.
Yeah.
Hey, hold up.
And that's when you know not to call me back, because what did you call back for? You said you had it. It took you to right now to figure out.
You just figured that out.
Get off my phone.
You just listened to me, which means you did not before. Cool. It's nice to know how this relationship goes. So randomly.
The best kind.
Speaking of somebody calling you and you know they don't want nothing, or hitting you up after a while, whatever the case is. How do you feel about like people that reach out to you after a while of like not speaking to you for a minute? Or like they was acting funny last time you talked to them and now they're like trying to be chummy again a while later?
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
had me. You had me in the first half into that last part of like acting weird and trying to act chummy again. It's if it's something where it was like a little spice, and I'm good with you going to sit down somewhere. But if it feels like I just feel like you have to have a little discernment. If it feels like, I mean, discernment, folks, not like I would say don't lead with like a preconceived notion or like your trauma leading your thing, so you like hella
Mm.
defensive. But just discernment to go, you're full of shit. So if it's simply like, oh, we might have had a little spice, or we had a little, it just the vibe. I don't even want to put spice on it. We just the vibe was off last conversation for whatever reason, and now you just kind of want to connect. You might be really genuinely trying to connect back, so I don't necessarily want to block that.
Okay.
But if I smell it on you, it's because most people end up telling themselves, be like, "Oh my god, how you doing? How's it been?" And sure enough, somewhere in there. So I was just, man, it's been so crazy. So so you said, I remember a couple times you said that you get into do you still got it. And I still do, and I'm still not giving you a goddamn thing. That's where I get, yeah, be like, oh man, let me go get this cereal up out of this tire pump that I got in the garage. I gotta pour the cereal in the tire pump. What's the tire pump? Yeah, don't worry about it. Be
Don't worry
fine.
about it. Let me go siphon the gas out the lawnmower.
Yeah, because like what?
Yeah, I can't. Nah. I mean, I can agree with that. If I can smell it, it's from a mile away. It's just like, nah.
Because you could say, because most people like that. This is where like I'm not trying to tell you guys how to scam, but like they definitely call you in the pinch, and
Oh,
it's
of
like,
course.
so this is like you weren't. I'm not even like your first. Just this is like, oh shit, I need to see if I can finagle, because it's like you have to in this conversation get it out because you need that money or you need that whatever like this week. Tough break, nigga.
That's the proverbial or stereotypical. Yeah, I just got to figure out how to make my rent type comments that
And that
some chicks
shit,
be throwing at dudes. Like
yeah,
I'm supposed to respond a certain way to
be
that.
like, man, I think and we gonna just hey in those moments in my mind. I told you guys, I try to be a little bit of a visual thinker. It'd be literally like one of them kung fu movies where they never hit each other. It's just, it's like, oh my god, I don't know how I'm gonna pay this, man. You just gotta pray about it, like, like, yeah. I just wish I could get, it all together. Well, if you brainstorm, I'm pretty sure you'll figure it out. What your mom and them doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, your brother still got that job you told me about a couple months ago. Because that sound like, man, I wish I was moving like him. Mics cost a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Shit, it's wild. Dun, na, na, na. Yeah, fuck, all right. If you cool off,
Oh,
I love you. I definitely got you. But like, I'm just specifically about y'all who are
opportunist.
who y'all are.
Hey, opportunist.
Yeah.
Subtle opportunist, as opposed to the others that lead with like, I need this.
Mhm. And like that, I respect more because it's like I need this. I'd fuck this off. I'm in a bind. What can you like? Can you or whatever? If I can't, I can maybe direct you. But y'all who be trying to, man, we trying to. What?
Yeah, nah. Even if you are direct with me,
That's all contingent.
depending on who the person
There we go. That's the
is.
caveat. It's all contingent on like our interactions and shit.
Yeah, if it's somebody that doesn't do that on a regular basis, then I hear you out. I appreciate you coming to me and for some assistance, and I'll do what I can to support you or point you in the direction of the support that you need. But if you somebody that does that on a regular basis,
Oh, and don't. You know what? This is one because this is one. Don't come trying to any type of. Don't I don't even like get to the usually the asking something because if it's like, man, it's tough out here, and it's like, hey, yeah, I saw your story I saw your story 3 days ago, and on Saturday you was outside.
And when you just have to,
And then you was outside because like it was a brunch thing, then it was an evening thing, and then it was some whatever, and it was I'm FRE. I'm fuck nigga free. And it's like, all right, cool. I'm a fuck nigga at this point, bro, because I ain't got it. So, you clearly got, because I wasn't outside. You know where I was at? I wasn't even on, I was on the Fire Stick. Like, I wasn't even on a subscribed thing. That's how much money I was trying to save. I was, so whatever you was on, I'm not on that. So, I should be asking you.
You're not the fuck nigga, dog. You should get the fuck nigga. There's a difference.
Oh, remix. One of y'all rappers rap.
One of y'all, or one of y'all artists for me.
Ooh, sing it, because then that's really
however you want to do it, however you would like to do it. But yeah, that is. I do have that. Like, you can see in somebody's story their behavior patterns and their choices, and it's like, and people love to vent. Like, they use social media as they journal, which is cool. So you don't realize how you've told on yourself enough to not get the help that you're looking for. Because I can see that you've made some bad choices, and I'm gonna let you learn from those on your own.
Yeah, because I'm not saying live life like they had an R&B only this weekend. I went to that. But ain't no reason for me to go to that and then turn around and like on Monday be like, hey, DC man, I need and it's like, hey, bro, like you needed that. You needed that shit last Wednesday. So what you and on Saturday it was like y'all was out and then it was like, it was gas is $400. You needed to get there, you needed to get home, you got in. You paid. You got a drink or two. You did that.
I didn't need to get there. For me, I'm glad you went and had a wonderful time.
Oh no, I'm saying if I'm saying that to you, like the list of things.
Oh yeah, I'm pointing that out, but I'm saying for me, you decided that you needed to go to that in the midst of an issue. I didn't need to go to that at all.
Where's the thingy?
The thingy? Yeah, it's the yellow one. Well, you can't do it before like she said.
I'm just gonna keep doing it.
You see a shadow. Oh, okay, you got to turn it up too. Hi.
Hey guys.
Welcome. So now you gotta like figure out how to do this, right? Because you ain't never done it before. So this is a mic, and you talk into it, and then you hear words and these things right here called headphones.
Yes.
So to go, you got the fresh braids and the Princess Leia buns on deck. You came prepared. Welcome.
Have you been watching Obi-Wan?
Have I? I haven't started yet. I was more concerned with Stranger Things and The Boys, to be honest. Stranger Things. Side note, Stranger Things, that last episode, I appreciate how you've tied everything together real nicely. I like how they've done that.
They did that.
I like how they did that. That was real nice. I like that. Did you see it? You're shaking your head like you saw it.
I did, because I finally finished it, so I was really excited because I needed to fill in the blanks from season 3 because I thought I seen it all and was like lost by the time season 4 and was like, what the hell? But I'm all caught up now, so I'm good.
Okay, cool. So that means you probably have to. She talk lower than me.
I'm gonna say like it.
Either that, any other time,
I'm cranking forward.
You got a projection. Now you got projection issue. Turn that thing.
I will say this,
mouth.
like, you gotta like
angle it to where you.
Because we're like.
I've had to figure it out because clearly we know that I talk low.
Okay, so I just want to let y'all know if I break it, it's not my fault because
it's not broken.
No, I'm saying if I break it,
you won't.
me and technology and
it's okay. Keith,
stuff.
She didn't break it just in case. Wow, what we gonna do? Loosen it up about right there. Tighten that thing up. Turn it towards you a little bit.
Technically putting things together.
There we go.
All-purpose pod.
All the other stuff you got to get. Don't worry about that right there. We just gonna help
let
you.
it hang
like that.
We gonna help you out. All you gotta do is turn the volume up. It'll help you out. So, welcome. So I know a lot of y'all watch us like talk and stuff, and then you see other people say stuff, and some of the people that be saying stuff, we be like, y'all can come here and say stuff to us too in person. And ta-da, we have somebody that wanted to come and say stuff in person. So here she is. Introduce yourself. Tell the people who you are, what you do, and any other important messages you want to share with the folk.
Shoot. I was planning on coming in here during the commercial break.
Nah.
I would miss that part.
Nope.
I'm late,
Woo!
Spirit fingers.
Why is it not as loud as it used to?
Nah, there it is. Yeah, it's a bigger crowd.
And, I'm just your average smo.
Your average schmo?
Yep.
You do average stuff? I mean, the average lady
Schmo's
schmo.
a good word.
No,
I like
because
the shit you
I like the
schmo.
average schmo, the average Joe, them type of things. But I don't know if that works today. Like today, the average schmo for women is like you do hair, nails, or got an OnlyFans, or all three.
Come outside, ho. Come outside, ho.
I mean, okay. Let's see.
Are you the average schmo?
I'm pretty average. I'm a pretty average schmo. Like I'm lay, black girl surfer, scientist.
I feel like you instantly left average in 2 words. It said surfing.
Thank
Nigga
you.
said surfing scientist. Like,
Right. No, you said black surfer, which is that's it, and then scientist.
I mean, average.
That is not average. The
Average
average
stuff.
black person is not surfing and looking at things underneath a microscope. That's not average. But I say that for you to like don't minimize yourself for sake of the show. And let people know who you are, what you do.
this is dangerous.
And I'm blind. I can't see nothing that's going
And so
on.
how you can't we'll handle the comments. You ain't got to worry about that. Felix, what is Felix? What kind of
Get off live, ho. Go
absolutely
whatever y'all doing. Also, go listen to We Don't Make the Rules because
as you should.
I'm promoting all things good news, but I'm promoting all of my chaotic brethren because I don't have an idea yet, but I need all the chaos together. I need
As you
us.
should.
I need them. I need to get right.
Literally,
Yeah, let's just burn,
chaotic brethren.
let's just burn it
True.
all.
Root
Oh
to
yeah,
growth.
that too. I forgot that whole. What the fuck? Yeah, yo, what? Come on, team. Let's burn this shit in love. Whatever.
Nah, burn it down.
In love though. I like that part.
I mean, I love good. You love things that are good for the greater good.
Oh yeah,
So
burning
you're
it down is for the greater good.
Yeah, in love with the greater good.
Oh,
not
okay,
for
cool.
them.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
can.
totally was on that when you said it. I totally understood where you were coming from.
Yeah, it's like a purge of
No,
stuff.
don't do that. Don't purge. That's scary.
Why?
Unless you're the purger. The purgers seem to have a whole lot of fun. They don't seem scared at all. Especially like the big time purgers, like the dudes that were in like the armor plated fucking trucks with the they're not scared. Like,
Okay, I have a. So
if you're outside with a horse and like a screwdriver, you're fucked.
here's
this
my
is true.
my issue with that. Let's say with the purging, right?
Mm.
Using that analogy, it happens every year at the same time.
Yeah.
Why are you afraid? Are you not prepared? You had 364 days to prepare for this one day, and you know what's going to happen, and you're afraid because why? Like you should know what to expect by now.
You know what I never thought about too? Is like, how come I didn't never just get on a boat for a night?
That
You could.
or go
Like-
underground like the Ninja Turtles.
It stank down there.
You know what? I'm gonna thug it out for a day.
Depending on where you at.
Then the turtles really was hanging out with Boo Boo. We never talked about that. Like they just
No, but you know, turtles in real life stink.
mm,
So they may be nose blind. To them, they thinking like we superheroes that show up and save the day. What? They got slits in the front that they can smell with.
that's crazy.
So maybe the Foot Clan knows when the turtles are around, not because like they are supreme ninjas, but just because you can smell them. Like the turtles are here. I smell ass and shell and shit.
That was such a coked out 90s idea. Let's get a rat, all right? It's gonna be an old rat. And like he was a dude, but then he becomes and then turtles. Okay, because my son has a thing with turtles, right? But he has move this fucking shit off the table. And then like that's how the Ninja Turtles came about.
You said coked out late 80s, really. Late
Yeah.
80s,
Yeah.
early 90s.
And that's when it was like
I was about to say during them times,
Could
what
you
was going on?
imagine what it would be like? Like I'm not big on like time travel because black, but but like
No, you could be good with time travel because black. Because I mean, there's some shit you can take back in time that would change the course of some stuff.
oh yeah, we would all just not exist. But like I'm mildly that crazy to be like, I think today we should all line up on the coast and just start shooting in that direction. Don't quote me on it, but if we just all shot that way, I guarantee stuff will go up.
Butterfly effect. Our futures would not be looking like what they are now.
And I'm willing to risk that. I'm willing to disappear in the midst of like, oh yeah, I did it.
And the turtles love pizza. Heck, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's the most NY shit ever. Hey yo, none of the turtles wore Timbs.
Raphael did.
He black.
Raphael had Tim's
Yeah,
and a New York fitted. Like he was the most aggressive. He was New York more than anybody else.
I take that.
Michelangelo was California for sure.
Yeah, he was high.
Yeah.
Don was my boy, you know, purple all day, but he was smart, chilling. And then Leo was like white supremacy to a degree. Super staunch.
I like how anybody who's like a Captain America, Jason, is like mad fucking like racist.
Hey, anybody that watches us, if you're a Captain America fan, I need to have a conversation with you. That's just me. I don't see the reasons for liking Captain America or Superman.
Oh, okay.
That's like
Captain
liking
America had
Homelander
nice
to me.
cheeks. That's
Really?
It. That's it.
Really?
This is
Really?
what I think
You,
about.
you were peeking at the white buttons, huh?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
When you said like butterfly effect everywhere, I immediately like this might be hands down one of the best fucking
watch that.
multiverse movies. Period.
I need to watch that. Dude. One of my clients brought that up in session today because we were discussing like
Oh my
relationship
bad,
dynamics with
What's
parents.
this shit called? Or you guys?
Oh, I seen it.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. If
Yeah.
you haven't watched it, I would advise go watch it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
She client said it was a really good movie, but like we were discussing relationship dynamics with parents, and they were like, "Yo, this movie kind of touched on some things that made me think about my relationship
do
with
that.
my mother." And I was like, "Oh, that's dope."
Because that, I mean, it just gets a little wonky, but like the parental dynamic is what kind of sets forth like the crazy shit that goes on throughout the multiverse. But I thought every time like I watch that or watch a multiversal thing, would you fuck with the multiverse? Like if you had the ability to like bounce through alternate U's? I'm
Most
not gonna lie, I'm
definitely.
fucking with it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Cause like they make it so it's a temporary thing. You just occupy yourself, but you can come back. I'm definitely fucking with like
How long? What's the time limit?
I guess it's however long you can, you need to. Like there's not really a time limit, but you don't want to like because decisions start to create a universe. Like it's literally one of those like
Branches off
yeah,
like Loki.
yeah. Every
And
fucking
time
thing you
works
do.
different in each one. So how do you even?
I would want to for sure, but I would want to like know how much time I have to affect some sort of change. So say like the most least successful or least happy or least whatever version of myself in a certain universe be able to in whatever amount of time help them change. Now granted that's gonna fuck up shit in the other universe, but if I get everybody to kind of balance out in a positive way, I'll do that.
Yeah, it was a weird so like they make that funny. Like it's like how every decision creates an alternate you. So you have to do like a series of weird shits that align you with your other one so y'all can have a connection. Like cause obviously we're all separated. So I don't know, man. They eat cheese through their butts in Universe
I
12.
was about to say
You have no, there's a whole scene where like in order for these dudes, because these dudes like fighting her, and in order for them to grab the versions of themselves that know kung fu, they have to like put something at their butt because that series of actions somehow sets them down the path to become that dude. So in order to grab that stuff, they need to instantly go.
See, I
butt
was
stuff.
going to try to transition that to a weird place, but it already does that for me. So that works.
It gets there.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's no like it was a running start, leap off a table, grab under both angles to land on an object to just get it there, and then do kung
went
fu
there.
post.
D-
Yeah.
I mean, Neo made it seem so much easier when he just like type in the code and I know kung fu now, but I gotta like
Not gonna lie,
anal
Mine-
insertion for.
it was a big item too. I just feel like kung fu might not be meant for me. I think I would find like the boxing version of me, the moonwalking version of me, anything else, because it just was so abrupt.
It's like either this and win the fight or not and lose the fight. I think I might take the L.
Yeah, I've lost the fight. Like it's cool.
Like I can take a L of this magnitude to have my sphincter intact. I think I might
Yeah, I
be
just feel
okay
like
with
you
that.
underestimate.
What say you, madam?
I'm taking the L. Ain't no way.
You just underestimate. Look at we're all sitting down now. Look how bad. Yeah, like no, it was like legit. It's a movie, so like it was. If you shave that into a nice, it wasn't rigid. So, but if you shave that down into a nice smooth shape, but still a substantial size, yeah.
I pass.
I mean, I'm good. I mean, I see ladies do it on their OnlyFans on a regular basis, so they got it. I'm sure they know all the fighting techniques. I on the
But-
other hand, I'll take the loss.
That also means that I feel like you can't be like, multiversal person and not be open to other people's cultures because clearly you need
Absolutely,
somebody who's into butt stuff.
cultural competency.
Yeah.
You do need to be open and aware of that, but you also do need to have boundaries and limitations of understanding what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not like it's like I'm like my butt's not the butt. but like
Yeah.
you got a butt friend.
Like if it's finger size.
You take for the multiverse. You take
for the multiverse. I'll
take
take finger size for the multiverse to be able to have an ability that I did not have. Absolutely, but when you said large sizely object, that's where you lost me.
Yeah, my thing is like like when you watched it, I was just like, that's instantly just excruciating pain.
Yeah, no.
Like you can't even get past. Like you can't even get to the part of like niggas like, oh my butt. It just was like that's not
low key. Okay, give me the numbing cream. I might want the skills.
They were fighting like a motherfucker. Like I can't. Like if somebody said I'm not gonna do it, but if somebody was like, absolutely, nigga, like just go ahead and like I'd be like the way they was kicking ass and like with it lodged in.
With it lodged in. That's a lot of. Like,
when I say
control.
Like right, I also feel like it was just compact. They were the after effects. Once the adrenaline wears off, it's a wrap.
What is the level of kung fu-ery that I'm going to be able to do? Granted, not all martial arts is kung fu, but for the sake of whatever.
No, it was mastery. It was like,
because are we talking like Bruce Lee status? Are we talking like Baki status? Are we talking like Goku, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan? Like what magnitude of fighting ability?
It was definitely like for her, she didn't put nothing up her butt, but there's a version of her who did like, this is where it got like kind of creepy, but like she did like super pinky push-ups and like her pinky was like mad strong. Yikes. And if she like pinky hits you, like it would blow your chest up. So like you could do like crazy shit. Like the dudes who took the stuff up their butts, like they immediately went into like the crazy kung fu where it's like, everybody now is like, you have to put your hips into a punch, and they're like, absolutely not. You can, and then somebody flies through a fucking wall. So honestly, like when you think about the payoff, it's like
temporary pain, greater payoff. I'm with it.
How long do I get to keep this ability?
That's another thing. It's however long you're clocked into like. Now she did this thing where she like bounces around enough times where she like broke the multiverse version of herself. It got a little wild, but she got like superpowers. It got intense. Oh, look at that. Commercials on the way, guys.
Yeah, that'll give me enough time to think about that because I'm
not going for it simply because of how abrupt it is. If they're like, hey, you can build into the butt play to do like, you might have me because they were just doing some cool shit.
Okay. Yeah, it depends on how we transition this. Speaking of transition, commercial.
Yeah, commercials are coming like
immediately. And we'll see you after he pays the bills.
Okay, bye.
Immediately. We'll see you after he pays the bills.
Bye. Who knows?
Hey, Jackie, what's wrong?
I'm over here running around trying to tell everybody about the Podcast Pit.
What's the Podcast Pit?
I'm glad you asked. The Podcast Pit is an event where you will find some of your favorite podcasts performing in front of a live audience.
Will there be food and drinks there?
Of course there will be. It's at Joxer Dailies in Culver City. They have a full bar and a full menu.
Hey, I may need to tell people about this as well.
Yes, come with me. Let's tell them.
The Podcast Pit is coming. The Podcast Pit is coming.
Yo, this is Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked, and even though they extra as hell, check out Never Not Extra on TGN Network.
That's right.
Y'all gotta have notes, cue cards, teleprompter.
Are you looking for the best barbershop experience? Then the Locker Room Barbershop is the place for you. Check them out at their new location, located at 16900 Lakewood Boulevard, Unit 204 in Bellflower, California. If you would like to book an appointment, you can check them out at thelockerroom05.com or on Instagram at The Locker Room Barbershop LLC. Feel free to call the number 562-202-9602. Again, that phone number is 562-202-9602. Can't wait to see you at the Locker Room Barbershop.
Hey there, business owners. Don't miss our limited time offer. Advertise on the Good News Radio as low as $2 per commercial slot. That's right. Promote your business up to 4 times a day, every day for a month on live radio. If you're interested, email us at contact@tgnradio.net. Once again, that's contact@tgnradio.net.
Girl, what you doing on Tuesday?
Girl, you know I'm going to be listening to Never Not Extra.
Oh, word? What time they come on?
Girl, you know they come on at 8:30, but only on Pacific Standard Time. So 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay, how do I listen now?
Only on the Good News Radio app, girl.
The Good News Radio app? Okay, I'm about to download that right now.
Go ahead and download that shit, girl, and get in the comments, girl.
Oh, you know I'm going to be up in there.
Because you know Kirsten be crazy.
And Moni be spilling that tea.
Ooh, all right. See you on Tuesday, girl.
Hey, my name is Jasmine Sweets, and I'm so excited to be bringing you The Sweet Spot on TGN Vibes, Good Vibes, and R&B. Playing the old school, new school, and in between. I'm coming to you this summer. Stay tuned.
Are you trying to buy a home, car, or make other investments and being discriminated against because of your credit score? At credit909.com, our professionals can help you remove judgments, student loans, child support, medical bills, and other erroneous and negative items on your credit report. Call 800-752-9763 today for a free credit analysis and consultation, or text credit to 909-688-5461.
That's how you feel already. It put you in a relaxed state instantly to where all the stress just left your body.
Facts.
That's wonderful. It's surprising how a sound can be able to do that for you.
Edge me.
I did.
I mean, actually,
No, I want everybody to see.
Are we back? So, like, people hear us right now?
Yup. Yeah. I think that might be my villain origin story. I enjoy when people like have to figure it out. Oh shit.
Somebody has to work through the discomfort.
That used to be like how I really would like start these. Like when who does that? Parks does it on Joe Budden, like just let niggas get to talking, and then out of nowhere you just kind of keep in mind that'll be a thing later on.
Yeah, when somebody's able to run certain things.
That's absolutely how I plan to like continue. Just like, oh yeah, no, I'm sitting there talking about, because you get where you get people to be like, so that's why. So I had them by the balls, but then I was looking at this dog, and that's you. That's immediately when you press that shit. Because you want nobody like, because then you have to get through like 30 minutes. People going like, hello, I am Thurgood up across the fourth, and I'm here on your podcast, and I would like to discuss a number of tantalizing activities. I don't want to hear this shit.
Nope. I want the actual real deal Holyfield. Kind of like with you. So with you, Lay, expressing earlier, like, oh, I'm just an average person until you say a couple things that you do that are not average. Being able to share that component with someone who's watching or listening or whatever the case is, being able to see a different dynamic of whoever they're listening to, as opposed to the stereotypical approach that comes here to be a lot more astute and professional. Like, nobody wants to hear that. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody. There is a lane for that for people out there, but as far as this is concerned, that's not our lane here. I want people to like the authentic aspects of you.
All the Bridgerton fans.
Oh my god, I watched it.
I believe you.
And
I even went to the Bridgerton experience. Like, I got the outfit and everything.
It's popping. I haven't watched it, so I can't even like. But from what I've heard, like everybody who I've heard watch it is like they are locked in. So I'm like, all right, man, it probably has. But I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for most things British. So in my mind, I'm like, all right.
The accent. It'd be the accents for me, and I just like period pieces anyway. So
I fuck with those. Although like my period pieces be like, you know, the Northman, but whatever.
Where there's violence involved. Yeah.
Although that's a whole nother rant about like those. I like them, but then they piss me off because
you know too much.
That it's two things now. Damn, there's that, and then I'm like, well, actually, that's part of it because I'm like, where's our period piece?
Absolutely.
Because y'all period piece, like they just be hyping them up. Like you watch the Northman, and they're like, it's cool, but then it's like great Norse spirituality. And I'm like, thieves.
So that's kind of why Bridgerton is good, because they put us in there in those spaces. So it's just like
kind of.
I have a post.
They did put us in there, but
I got a post that I've been keeping in the tuck for that conversation. I just haven't decided to drop it, but I'm becoming that guy. I got a whole lot of shit.
Yeah, you got a gallery of, you just pull it out, a Rolodex of things that you can pull out when you need to.
Yeah, my memory on my phone says it.
But yeah, I can understand that. I mean, that is kind of where I would go with it, with a lot of period pieces, or even like say with Bridgerton. Like there's an alternate perspective that isn't getting shared that I would like to see. which is kind of similar to what I was saying for you. There's an alternate perspective to you and your personality that does not get shared that I would like to see, which kind of brings up an interesting point as far as like our topic for today, because you brought forth to me an alternate perspective that you're becoming aware of or that you have, and you wanted to kind of share that a little bit. So,
Yeah.
what was your alternate perspective that you are exploring?
Okay, so I had posted or reposted a comment or post about male sexual assault.
Mhm.
And we don't typically think about it. With the Me Too movement, men wasn't really included in that movement. And so I had posted it just to make awareness. But I got responses from men like sharing their stories. And it was just like, they were like sexually assaulted by women, most of the time in their like before 10 and by like their babysitters. And so, like, yeah, we know that like pedophilia doesn't necessarily just have a gender or sex,
Mhm.
but you never think like pedophile woman. And so, like, when these men sharing, it was just like, I'm reading them, like, I don't know how to respond. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, and I've been in spaces where I spoke with women about sexual assault and sexual abuse, and it was like easy to speak to women. But like, for men, they already have to have that the machismo attitude or like macho men. So, like, for me to even not even know some of these men and they're like sharing these stories, I'm like, how the fudge do I respond to this? Like, how do I, yeah, I want to be, I show empathy, but it's just like, after that, what happens? Like, what do I say to something like that without making you feel less than a man? Because you already have to come forward as a man with the like the notion of like you can't even show or express this. And for men to even say that they haven't even expressed it to their partners and they just recently like was telling their family members just like, holy shit, I'm not even your partner. I'm nothing to do with you. Like, go tell your partner because all of them still had intimacy problems. And so it's just like maybe if you shared it, it would help. But I don't know, like it was just difficult or, a little challenging to try to find the right words to say to them to know that like it's okay. I mean, the experience that you had is not okay, but it's okay that you are sharing it with me.
Right.
So
Why do you think it is that they have not shared it with those that are supposed to be closest and safest to them?
fear of acceptance. I would say it's the number one. Usually when you hear, somebody's been sexually assaulted, especially in childhood, you automatically think they have all these issues, all these problems, they're damaged, they're broken. So naturally, you want to separate yourself from that. Um, so moving forward, creating a new identity that is you're literally detached from that trauma.
Right.
So you're not going to want to speak to it to relive it or have someone now constantly ask you all these questions. So now you're constantly giving all this information, or it makes people nervous. Like now people are they're afraid to interact with you or to say certain things with you because of the fact that they don't know what your triggers are.
Right. That makes me think of, for the theme of the month, pride. Right. So a lot of negative stereotypes when it comes to gay males in the community is they're like, oh, they must have been touched when they was little. They must have been molested. And that's why they like men now, which is not true at all. For some, it may be their story. Yes, but it's not. Them being molested is not a direct correlation to why they have the sexuality that they have now. But for a lot of men that may experience that, they may have the same questions in their mind, like, oh, well, am I gay because I was molested as a kid? Do I have to hide that? Should I be, am I closeted? Am I this? Am I that? So it's something that needs to be discussed more. One, to create that alternate perspective of like, one, it doesn't make you gay if you go through this. It doesn't make you less of a man if you go through this. It doesn't make you this. It doesn't make you that. It's not okay, but it's okay. It's okay to share that. So the thing that bothers me sometimes, because like as you were telling me the first time when we talked about it off air, and even just now, it's like you have a partner, you have people that are close to you, you have really good friends. They feel comfortable telling a stranger or somebody they don't know as well because you expressed some interest and empathy and for people within this category, and they felt safe enough to tell you, but you see these people every day and you don't feel safe enough to tell them. That's an issue for me, not just within the confines of molestation as far as men are concerned, but just the fact that you don't feel safe enough to be yourself in your own home, whatever that may be.
That's tough.
That means there's something that needs to be done to help people feel more safe, especially as it pertains to men. How many men are out there and do not feel emotionally safe enough to be themselves in their own damn home?
That's true. And I'm not going to blame men, but I want us to start challenging notions in place for societal norms. Like, yes, men are not supposed to show their emotions, but then at the same side, we as women are like, our men are emotionless. And so it's just like, and then we're complaining and nagging them about being emotionless beings. But at the same time, those same women who say it's that they want these emotional, available men and they want them to express the minute he says something, he's a bitch. Like, so it's like, well, damn, if I'm being open with you and I'm being vulnerable with you, I'm a bitch. But if I'm not, I'm unemotional and I'm unemotional attached. So it's like, I can't win for losing.
It's a lose-lose situation for you emotionally. If I don't express, I'm not being a good enough man. If I do express, I get emasculated for doing so. Where I may have already, especially say, for instance, for a man that has been molested, I've been emasculated once before in my life, and I don't want to go through that feeling again. And you emotionally put me in a space to feel like that every time you disregard what I have to say. But how many men go through that and aren't willing to share that? That's why we have things like the barbershop.
I think that's the reason why they don't say much, or would be more open to express to a stranger than the people that they know. Because if we go in like you said, societal norms, cultural norms, your, whether you the dad, the boyfriend, the husband, whatever, your job is to, however anybody want to make it, put it all on your back. You carry the weight.
You're a man.
And on the flip side, like you said, there are women who, in their own versions of words, perpetuate that as well. As a man, you're supposed to A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So I'm going to tell a stranger because you want nothing from me. I can tell you because I'm not messing up you don't have no gaze of me. If I tell you everything on earth, you need nothing from me. If I tell my lady, then I have to really, really hope, because we probably haven't had those conversations to go, hey man, your part of the bargain is also your support of me does not really always require my dick to be out. Like, your support of me is a lot of other things. But since we ain't really gone over that, it's like, well, shit, man, if I tell her this, probably gonna look like a bitch and all this other domino effect. So I'm gonna tell a stranger. And that's kind of how.
But that's breaking down the stereotypical norm that you say. Because where does the stereotypical norm for what a man is supposed to be come from?
See, now you're getting into some. Okay.
I mean, there's layers. Let's get to it.
There's so many layers of this.
There's so many layers.
We've definitely had this conversation off air. I go back to like Darwinian theory, like very heavily. I've studied it. And so we talk a lot about the natural selection versus sexual selection. And a lot of people don't know the difference. A lot of people think sexual selection has everything to do with the opposite sex. But in regards to sexual selection actually means where the same sex is opposing the standards onto themselves. So like, let's say the fat man and the skinny man. The skinny man has done everything that he's possibly can to basically degrade the heavier set man. So now the status quo is that I want to be the skinny man because the skinny man is the one who's picking on the fat man. So now all the men are want to work out. They're going to do all these things to make themselves look like the skinny man. And everything that man does, that is what a man is supposed to be. Now, that's sexual selection. So a lot of the things, standards that we put on ourselves come from our own sex. But then you have the natural selection. So naturally, based on the sexual selection components that has been enacted by that sex, we are not going to start choosing from those. So now it's been said that, the man that you want is the skinny man. So now a woman is like, okay, I'm going to go after that. I might like this man over here, the thicker, plump, voluptuous man.
Gang.
I might like that, but society and all my community is telling me that is not what I want. So I have to go after this because this is what I'm supposed to do. Same for us. We also have both sexual selection. So now with natural selection, we want the man to pick us. So now we're going to put standards in place via sexual selection that we think that the opposite sex want. And so now we're going to pick on each other and we're going to dissect each other based on what we have always placed on ourselves. But the bad thing is we both feed into it. We're both feeding into the negatives of the natural selection and the sexual selections.
Critical thinking.
Yeah, so we create insecurities within each other because we've placed these standards on each other, and we're not talking to one another. Instead, we're assuming what each other wants.
We're projecting those insecurities on ourselves and one another, and then expecting other people to live up to our projection or our insecurities or the lens that it has created, which is super unhealthy. But that goes back to I'll be a bitch projection. if I tell her what I've been through. Now, you mentioned partner, not just like somebody you're dating. Your partner has been through some shit with you. Why are you afraid to share with them other shit that you've been through if they've been there with you through some things?
Question. It depends what they've been through.
That is also, or not even just what they've been through, but what you've allowed them to experience in the midst of them going through things with you. Because you can go through some shit and not share everything that you're really going through with them. They can know that you're going through a financial crisis in the household, but they don't know that you cry yourself in the corner of the shower every day.
But I feel like if you're at the partnership level, you would have definitely had those conversations. I mean, people say like, "Oh, I went on 3 dates. I'm in a relationship with you." Back up. We're not even dating. Okay, 3 dates. I'm just getting to know you. So it's just like, or
30 dates.
30 days. I'm still not dating you. Possibly, like I'm still just trying to figure out if I even like you. And there's levels to it. And I feel like we're just in a generation where it's like, I see you, I like you, I take you out to eat. Oh, you're my boyfriend, or you're my girlfriend.
Possession.
I say it's even worse than that because I think there's an assumption that because it's a meme somewhere in the deep dark crevices of this phone that it's it's like a really tore down car and it's like, oh yeah, we've been making it through, we've been thriving together, we've been doing this for 8 years, and it's like them for the 8 years and it's just beat up, tore up, destroyed car because people will stay in the thing to say we've been in this thing for a long time. But these same perspectives that we have around relationship is like, dog hasn't told you about himself in 3 years. He's come home, he's talked about work. You haven't known he was depressed because he still hit this, but they still be yanking. It's like, look, man, this is just a genetic thing. The dick gonna stand up because that's what
it's gonna stand up and it's gonna spit after a certain amount of time.
Because he hit it still on a semi-regular basis per week. He hasn't cried in front of you. He still goes to work. Everything's probably straight.
He's a strong man.
She still is cool. She still likes you. She comes home. She sucks my dick. And, we watch our favorite. We don't watch our favorite show. We watch whatever.
We watch Bridgerton.
Yeah, we watch Love and Hip Hop or whatever the fuck else.
Ain't nobody watching Love and Hip Hop.
They are.
They
terribly so. We're watching whatever.
Religiously.
We're watching whatever reality show. She thinks we're having a deep connection. Even on herself, it's like, you realize, like, you thinking about leaving your job as a nurse and you want to go paint. But you scared, like y'all aren't really having any real connections. Y'all have just been. What's that? It's my favorite film because you niggas always like to use it like it's a terrible film. But that film be. I've been standing in the same place, Rose. I've been standing with you. But that's y'all. That's really y'all. Y'all just two snotty ass niggas. She looking like Denzel and Viola just fucking lathered up on each other, just standing in place.
I want to use the analogy that you presented as far as the car is concerned, because I think a lot of people, when it comes to that, they're more like the luxury vehicles. Here's why. When you drive out in the world, how many older models of luxury vehicles do you see still on the road?
Shit.
Unless I go to Jay Leno house.
But he's taking care of them. So they're collector's items. But I said to say you can still go outside and see older models of cars still working perfectly. Cars from the 2000s, you might see some cars from the 99s. The people still drive them. They're in decent condition. They're still running. They're still moving.
Glass house.
But it's still out there. Yes. The luxury vehicles, the new versions of them, I will see them on some sort of transportation, whatever, for them being crashed and demolished more so than I will see them lasting the test of time, because people care about pretty shit, but they don't know how to take care of it. That car that may not be the most pretty, most luxurious, most this, most that has figured out how to do its job efficiently for a longer period of time, and people appreciate it and still utilize it properly. That luxury thing is going to get replaced because you only cared about aesthetic. And that's how people approach each other and relationships. As long as you have the aesthetic within this relationship, I can respect you. But as soon as that aesthetic starts to diminish or change, I have to upgrade your aesthetic or change altogether. And that's not beneficial, because your relationship should be like that reliable Honda, that 90 whatever Honda that still looks good, still kicking, that you've taken care of. The engine's still going relatively well. You can turn it into a racing car because it's reliable. You can't do that with the other shit. You just end up spending more money, more time, more effort to put into something that's not going to stand the test of time. So do you care about aesthetics or do you care about performance?
And I would say, even just to ride on your analogy a little bit. Not even that it's not built well. I mean, not even that you like just did it for aesthetic. Even if you were trying to use it for a non-aesthetic purpose, it cannot last that
It
long.
can't.
You drive a insert whatever luxury car, they're dope, but you literally can't drive that shit. Something's gonna fall apart. Something's gonna fall to pieces, and then it's gonna take $1 billion. Like what was that? That T Pain story.
Mhm.
I was driving a Bugatti and it was amazing. I dented a muffler or something. The niggas told that nigga like it's $900,000 to replace this part. And he's like, so you can take it back. 'Cause what? So if I'm using that analogy to be like, yo, we a dented muffler. If I'm whatever in a relationship, like we don't like. I like peas and you like fucking carrots. And now we're fucking arguing over peas and carrots. Yeah, you might have to take this whole shit back.
Yeah.
Because what the fuck?
Even with that, say your societal norms conversation. When we were, well, I'm a little bit older than y'all, but the early 2000s, when we were in high school in some capacity around that time, right? What were the luxury cars? Like say when rap songs or videos would come on, what are the type of cars that they had aside from the stereotypical Benz or Range Rover?
Lambo.
Not yet. Not yet. That came later in 2000s. A lot of luxury cars were Escalades.
Oh yeah.
People just
Okay,
wanted
yeah.
a nice basic. I want a Cadillac truck. Cool. I want an Excursion. I want an Escalade. I want to Explore. I want a Suburban. They wanted a nice big vehicle. It ain't have nothing to do with the super big price tag. I just want something that's got enough room for me to do my thing and feel good and feel special. Somewhere, some way, somehow, that shifted from I want an Escalade truck to I want a Bugatti. I want a Maserati. Our societal norms shifted to be more materialistic.
True, but I blame capitalism for that because I feel like that shift only happened because Escalades became a thing where everybody could afford it.
Right.
So luxury is only priced at a point where not everybody can afford it. It's only for the elite.
Right.
So if you're always chasing the elite, you're always chasing that next dollar. Everybody's about, oh, the bag. And everybody is basically looking out for their partner solely for how much their potential income earnings are.
Mhm.
So when you're doing that, you're chasing that luxury vehicle. Escalade is nothing because everybody can afford it. But
Yeah.
that Bugatti that's going to break down, especially in LA with these potholes, you hit a dent, you
It's a
screwed. Yeah. And so, but I still got it. Look at me.
You do the same thing in your relationship. So I brought that point up to show how that's how people may approach men as well.
Most definitely.
So I'm approaching luxury and finance and things. And that's what makes you a man. That also that same lens, that same perspective may be the same thing that also keeps him from telling you that he's been molested when he was a little boy. Because you only see me as luxury or for what I can do for you. The standard of manhood, especially as the society is concerned, is only based on what I can do. Nobody cares about what can be done for.
That is usually my little like 2 cents point that I say all the time about everybody being like, I want to be in a relationship. It's like, are you absolutely sure? Because me and somebody's son look cute until somebody's son got some shit to go through.
Right.
And we always present people are like going through trauma or whatever as some shit that they just like, take off their back like a jacket or some shit. And it's like, it's just like healing summer. And it's like, healing might mean that you kind of just have to be around. Because obviously you can't work on my like getting molested trauma. But your job is kind of sucks. You just kind of have to sit here and, help me kind of just walk through it. Is that what you really want? Because we all up here, and SZA sounds great. And Summer Walker sounds great, and all that shit is like, I want to be in love, and it's like, but this is it. This is that other side. It's not punch you in the face, bitch. It ain't whatever, but it is. I'm gonna probably like shut down or something. That's it. Hey, I just want everybody. That's made me think the same shit that y'all be saying, like, I'm difficult to talk to. She's at a place in her life. Hey, if you flip that shit around, like, would you talk to you? Nigga come up and like, I'm at a space in my life where like, I don't want to talk to whatever, and I fart in the bed and I don't fucking communicate, and I see my kids, but I don't really like say hello to them because I'm scared of like my father. It's like, is that shit cool?
You would run in the opposite direction and say that he
Fast.
is unhealed, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, talk all kind of shit about him. But we are supposed to be accepting of that version of you without consequence. The double standards. societally, men understand the double standards that are placed on them that we do not discuss, which is another layer of why men don't express.
This is true, and this is why I try. I I know I get a kick out of making men uncomfortable sometimes. Because like I just feel like we all need to be uncomfortable in a lot of areas so that real change can happen.
Yes.
So yes, whether I'm on some like playing level or whether I'm on some like serious level, like I like for men to be uncomfortable because that's where true growth happens.
Okay.
So like although like we're having this conversation now and I want more men to share, I know it's going to take time for more men to be able to share because then you're also going to have people who know how to accept it. Even for me, like I've been around women, but I've never been around men who's opened up to me. Even accepting it was like, what the? Okay, I got it, but what do I do now with this information? Like, you don't. I just didn't want to sit on it, and it was just like you clearly opened up. It's like, now what?
There's a thin line. So with you saying that, knowing, because we are, anybody that has watched us for the last 3 years, they know that we are definitely advocates for getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. It definitely does give you an opportunity to grow and change and learn and things of that nature. But when you are the facilitator of said discomfort, me as a therapist, I'm the facilitator of the discomfort and walking you through that discomfort to the other side. But you have to be mindful. Am I creating a comfortable, healthy discomfort, or am I being invasive? Sometimes people may not understand how the discomfort that they're trying to create for other people for growth is really them being invasive or manipulative or controlling or demeaning or disregarding.
I tell it like it is. It's on my chest. I'm gonna get it off. You're gonna hurt somebody.
Yeah, you are hurt, so you want to hurt, as opposed to creating an uncomfortable conversation about this is how I feel, this is why I feel that way, this is why I see this way, this is why I approached you in a certain way, and I need to be accountable to that, but I need you to be accountable to this. That is a difficult conversation, but I'm gonna speak my mind and say how the fuck I feel, and can't nobody. That's you being invasive. That's you disregarding their emotion. That's you demeaning them. That's you emasculating them. And that's why you are not a safe enough space to know that your husband of 10 years was molested when he was a child.
Zing.
Indeed. So with that, I have more stuff for you. But we'll get to it after the commercial break. Right now, we're going to transition to these commercials and then pay some of them bills, hopefully, and all that stuff that he likes to do. I don't like paying no bills, but it is what it is. But we shall be back after that, and we'll get to these comments here in the chat afterwards.
That's a big one. We'll say that when y'all come back.
We shall be back after that.
It's your girl Jules from the Primos Chidos. Did you know that recent studies have proven that the Primos Chidos radio increases life expectancy and loss of weight? So make sure to catch us every Thursday at 12 p.m. on the TGN Latinx station.
Hey, Peyton, you know what I've been craving lately? Some ice cream.
Then we have to go to Slush and Roll. They have the best handmade ice cream rolls. You can add any toppings you like. Sprinkles, crushed Oreos, and my favorite, marshmallows. And you can top it off with whipped cream or delicious chocolate drizzle.
I just looked them up, and you can find them at 12742 Crenshaw Boulevard in Hawthorne, California. And they even have vegan options, too.
They sure do. And they are open from Tuesday to Sunday, 12 to 8 p.m.
And I just followed them on Instagram at Slush and Roll. Sounds too good. Let's go right now.
Yay!
Yo, this is Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked, and even though they extra as hell, check out Never Not Extra on TGN Network.
That's right.
Y'all gotta have notes, cue cards, teleprompter.
Hey, Jackie, what's wrong?
I'm over here running around trying to tell everybody about the Podcast Pit.
What's the Podcast Pit?
I'm glad you asked. The Podcast Pit is an event where you will find some of your favorite podcasts performing in front of a live audience.
Will there be food and drinks there?
Of course there will be. It's at Joxer Dailies in Culver City. They have a full bar and a full menu.
Hey, I may need to tell people about this as well.
Yes, come with me. Let's tell them.
The Podcast Pit is coming. The Podcast Pit is coming. Hey, what's up, business owners? Are you looking to take your business a step forward? Are you looking for more people to know what you have to offer? You are in luck. The Good News Radio has a special deal for you right now. You can get a commercial slot 4 times a day, every day for a month. If you are interested, Email contact@tgnradio.net for more information.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Alex Himes from Courtside Radio. We love to have you tuning in every Monday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m. right here on the Good News Radio Network. Don't forget to tune in every week, people. We'll see you then.
Only on TGN Sports.
Sundays just got sweeter. The Hub Radio presents First Sundays Open Mic, hosted by Hub City Dre, DJ Gamma Ray, and the First Sundays Band. They're inviting all singers, rappers, comedians, and poets to show up and show out. Signups begin at 6 p.m. Sundays Open Mic will take place every first Sunday of the month. It's just $10 before 8 p.m. and $20 after, so arrive early. The address is 1135 East Compton Boulevard. That's 1135 East Compton Boulevard in Compton, California. For more information, follow them on IG at First Sundays Open Mic.
It's Keith Good News here, telling and reminding y'all to make sure you listen to Top of the Morning every Monday and Wednesday to get your morning started off right. 9 a.m. on TG.
There we go.
We bike.
I know what I'm doing.
We bike.
Thanks for that heads up.
No problem. Now that you hope you all enjoyed our commercials, our sponsors, make sure that you support those that are having commercials here on TGN Radio. They are our supporters of this brand, this theme, this movement, this everything. So make sure you are supporting the sponsors, you are supporting the events, you are supporting us by watching and listening right now. We greatly appreciate it, but continue to support those that support us. Going to our comment section right now. Go ahead and throw that on the screen.
Walking through it with someone is a solid part of loving someone else, but what about when the man is oversharing because he's never been able to before and then loves far too much, far too soon?
That's a relevant question. That kind of goes to, like, say, your experience. In my mind, it goes to your experience. Like, I show one instance of being supportive and comfortable within a certain dynamic, and because they say, oh, finally safety, and there definitely has to be barriers and parameters within that, because yes, it's great that you feel safe enough to share and communicate with this individual, but you do have to understand that you can't vomit on top of your safe space.
I think that's one of the things though, like, and I'm not trying to just like jump on ladies, but that's the part of like saying like, you don't want you to be open, I want you to tell me. Like, you have to set boundaries. Like, hey, you can talk to me, you can communicate with me, and in the moment it's good to go, you've given me a lot, so let me try to
digest this.
Yeah, let's digest that, and I can help you with like 1 to 2, but I might just not know what to do with 4, 5, 12. But I'll be here to like kind of help and coach you through that as much as I can and just be a support. There's some things that I can definitely help you with. And in this part here, I ain't gonna lie, champ, I ain't got it for you, but I'm gonna be here for you.
Right.
But I don't know what to do with this. But as you figure it out, just know you ain't got to figure it out on your own.
Right.
But you definitely should like, that's like, what was that? That's like, you know, one of the things I'll be saying. I'm like, when we talk, are you venting to me or do you want to talk about it? I'll be here for both. It just, my role is different and that's how both these things work.
If you want to if you want to vent, I will.
That's
okay.
Crazy.
I'm here. I'm in tuned. I'm listening, and I will give you some sort of response. But if you really want to talk about this, the discomfort, there's going to be some solutions coming. There's going to be some things that you may not want to hear, but you need to hear. There's going to be aspects of this conversation that can transition to a space that you may not be 100% comfortable. So definitely, I think it's okay to tell people, kind of like what you said with these people that were sending you their story of like, I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes it's okay to say that, like TJ was expressing, like, hey, I don't have the answers for this. I don't know how to approach it. I don't even know how to respond to you. But like I told you, I appreciate the fact that you feel safe enough to tell me, and I support you in finding whatever you need to help you feel better and express this more. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'm grateful for like giving some sort of gratitude and affirmation to that person, which lets them know that my sharing, 1, wasn't an overshare. 2, it's safe enough for me to continue to do so. I just need to find out how to do it a little bit better. Or even you let them know, like TJ said, there was an overshare, and I'm a little overwhelmed with all that you just gave me. I got to digest that. But again, the affirmation, I appreciate you sharing it with me. It's just going to take a little time for me to digest it and understand it a little bit better. But thank you Thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that with me. Let me go sit down by myself for 10 minutes and like wrap my head around this before I give you a response. Shout out to Eric Devine. Hey y'all. That's how I heard it in my head when I saw your comment. I thought you would have said like, hey hoes or something similar to that effect, but I appreciate the y'alls. Shout out to Gates as well. There it is. Don't vomit on your safe space. That is good. I mean, that's essentially what we don't realize. Communication in a relationship. Going back to the male-female dynamic. As a woman, you think he's a safe space because you vomit on him every day and he doesn't clean it up. Or he does clean it up. I hate this, that, and the other, blah, 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 vent, vomit. He says, yeah, you're right. I got you, baby. It's okay. We gonna do this and all that just to make sure that you feel better. He's cleaning up. He's not helping you solve these problems. He's enabling you to continue to vomit.
I feel like as a woman, though, we're not venting to our men. We're definitely going to our girlfriends for that, because our girlfriends are going to be the ones that they're going to want either side with us, and we're going to,
enable.
Yes, a little bit. And we're going to drink mimosas or margaritas about it, and we're going to feel better.
Avoidance.
When we want.
I was stuck at don't do that with our men.
But no,
That's
because when it
issue.
comes to our men, when we come to them, we want the solution. Yeah, we do. Don't be shaking.
Whoa. You want the solution, or lady folk as a whole?
I believe you. I believe you in that chair. I believe you. Because I have asked the question, do you want? Yes, absolutely. What should I? Don't fuck with her. Fucking next week. Like, let me tell you what she did. Stop fucking talking to me. Stop.
Maybe it's okay. Sometimes I can live in my own biases,
Mm-hmm.
and it's only because like I don't have time for it.
I understand.
So
that.
I'm not gonna.
You're my favorite person.
I believe very much so in like reciprocal. And so like if I'm not about to do it because I don't want him to do it to me. And so it's just like. So I'm gonna go vent to my girlfriends, and I'm hoping he's gonna go vent to his guy friends. And they're gonna do the same things. But when we need something to come together to create a solution, we need to be able to come together for that solution.
I can appreciate that. You don't want to do it to him because you don't want him to do it to you.
Yes.
Does that apply to everything? We'll talk about that later. Because there's some stuff I can challenge on that I'm not gonna do on air.
That's
What's Mr. Reyes say?
Fences. Yeah.
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 I thought you said fences. We reference that all the time.
I might have not said it.
You didn't say
I
the
might
movie
have just.
name. You just said the characters.
He referenced
Viola
it. You
Davis.
used the
Yeah.
actual actors as opposed to their characters. But okay.
Because
Yes,
I feel like
fences.
I know them for real.
Absolutely. Yeah. They're gonna come on the show and chill with us as soon as they get some free time to come.
I would talk to Viola Davis in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
Denzel will give you so much big unk.
Absolutely.
Like he always has big unk advice on deck.
Absolutely. So I know we've kind of talked about within the male-female dynamic as far as a male not feeling comfortable or safe enough to express an extreme trauma that he's been through, like being molested or raped or whatever the case is. And there's even more that we can dive into with that, because we haven't even touched how on our part as men we condone it as well. But what about things like, say, within your relationship, something that's non-conventional? Why do you think that men maybe won't feel safe enough to express that? Like, say, a sexual interest or a different relationship dynamic or whatever the case is. Why do you think that men don't feel comfortable sharing those things either?
I think it goes back to the patriotic societal norm. Like, it all goes back to societal norms. A lot of our issues are rooted in, and we just want to follow and be a part of the status quo. Some of us, we want to challenge it, and we explore those options, and we do the research, and we realize we're happier in alternative lifestyles or alternative dynamics of our relationship, and it works for us because we're ridding a lot of those norms, and we're solely defining what we are within ourselves instead of letting society determine what we should be.
So you're saying a lot of we and us and our, which means you're included in that. So please explain your because you're saying a lot of inclusion words. You didn't say y'all or they. You said our. So please clarify.
Yeah, I live an alternative lifestyle. I am a member of the BDSM community, and in like August will be 15 years. Yeah, and it'll be 15 years in August that I've been a part of like the actual community of BDSM. Like, yes, kink community, like we're far and wide, and like, and I accept everybody within that community. But me specifically, I just deal with a lot of like DS relationship styles, or pretty much all facets of like BDSM. So yeah. Hey.
Now,
Was that supposed to be the big reveal?
I don't know.
no, I mean, none. I mean, I don't guess that was your big reveal. But even with that, so not just alternative lifestyles or alternative in that aspect, because even within the confines of your BDSM involvement or being a part of that community, that also affects your relationship dynamics as well.
Okay, yeah. I don't want to say I live a double life, but I have lived a double life where I've been in like a vanilla relationship, um, who did not know of like my DS relationships because I just split two worlds. And in my vanilla life, my vanilla man, he was able to live up to the machismo attitude and kind of do all things that vanilla man wanted to do. Um, but he also limited himself to what vanilla men are supposed to do or not do. Versus in the king community, my partners there kind of we explore, we do everything together, and you can kind of grow with each other in the king community. And I just feel like in vanilla, there's everyone's searching for perfection in their partners, and in kink, everyone's looking for growth with their partners. So it's like a different
It's a different
dynamics,
approach,
different
different mindset.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like vanilla relationships are more based in insecure attachment styles.
Yes.
All right. Cool.
But those are the stereotypical. That's why she may call them vanilla. We chocolate over here, so I don't know shit about no vanilla.
I
But
do want to clarify people out there. Vanilla
I know
is
he
not
here.
bad.
Yes. We're gonna get to it in a minute. But thank you, Eric.
Yes.
Welcome to the conversation. Glad to have you.
This is my
But go
favorite,
ahead.
bro.
No, I don't want people to think that I'm shitting on like normal
I am.
style relationships. There's nothing wrong with vanilla relationships, people. I'm always trying to recruit others to come over to the dark side, and teach you how to do it safely and all that other good stuff. But vanilla is not necessarily a bad term. Like if that's for you, that's for you. Like it is what it is. It may not work for me. It might work for me. Like I've done both. So
I look at vanilla as the stereotypical white Christian patriarchal monogamous relationship, and I
I've
ain't
tried
fucking
it.
I
with
think shitting on it from that perspective, like shit on it if it's like if you just go, yeah, man, and like it was up my ass. I just don't dig it. Like, and it's like I just like laying with this motherfucker. If you're just a boring motherfucker, because I'm boring in a lot of places, or to I guess in my regular life because I be at the house. So if you're like, oh, you're just boring, cool. But if it's like, that's the devil, man, shut the fuck up. That's ass, boy. Shit, you a fuck you, like fuck you. Like,
it. One thing you said, partners.
yeah.
I caught that. So that means vanilla, you had one stereotypical monogamous relationship, but your double life or your other life, you had multiple partners that you were with, as well as having a BDSM relationship.
Yeah, sometimes I did. So I like the DS relationship, dominant submissive, but sometimes I would have two subs. Um, Sometimes those submissive partners were husband and wife. Sometimes they were just two girls at the time, or maybe they were like two guys at the time. Maybe it was a guy and a girl. It really just depends on the sub who approached me and if we were compatible in that space at the time.
Right. But I can understand. So say the husband and wife that you're with, they've gotten to a certain space where he can express sexually, physically, what he's interested in, what he wants, this, that, and the other, and is able to get support in that and find it at the same time. Whereas you're saying for the vanilla side, they're not even comfortable discussing it.
Not at all. Like
my
even
dad, we only fuck two ways, baby, up and down.
yeah,
And
like,
eating potatoes, boring. No broccoli, no nothing. Just strictly baked potato with a pat of butter and steak with salt and pepper. Meat and potatoes. Don't nobody want that shit.
Pepperoni with the chicken strips.
But yes, that would be my aspect of shitting on vanilla, because within the confines of this conversation, vanilla is what keeps people in general in a certain box and doesn't give them the opportunity to express what it is that they really need and want. It makes you confine yourself within this stereotypical norm. I don't want vanilla. Why is vanilla the most popular ice cream flavor in the world? Why? Because it's safe. but it's not. You have so many more options of being able to express yourself in different ways. Why not take that opportunity? But you have to feel safe enough to do so. So you are somebody that has the ability to advocate for somebody feeling safe enough to do things in certain spaces.
You know, I don't even know if it's a safety issue. Especially like even if you were a vanilla person, right, who just wanted to kink your sex life up. The conversations don't even, everything's so taboo in vanilla. Like sometimes you'll meet somebody in the community and we're going to talk about all kinds of interests sexually and things outside of, in vanilla world too. But it's just like everybody's free to do so. I don't know. I think it's a freedom aspect in vanilla where you have everything so rigid in vanilla and everything is fluid in the community. And so for a guy, you're taught you can only do this, you can do this, you don't talk about this, you don't talk about that. So naturally, you're not going to talk about it. But women are also socialized. You're not even supposed to be a sexual being as a woman. You're just supposed to be like this person who's just there waiting for the man to pick you up and sweep you off your feet and go fuck and have some kids. And that's the end. So anything outside of that is like, I don't know if it's a safety thing, if you feel safe or not, or if you just don't have the freedom to do so because you're stuck.
Yeah.
Conditioning kids.
Or
Absolutely.
That's the word.
But I attribute freedom to safety. Because say for black people, we're free, but we ain't free. Why? Because we know that we're not safe in this country. Our how we see our freedom is attributed to our safety or lack thereof. So I think they correlate. They're not the same, but I think they definitely work together. I do want to go to Mr. Devante's comments on what he had to say.
People project their own shame onto others, so guys or people in general don't always feel comfortable expressing those interests, i.e. ass eating, gang, water sports, anal play, sex is sex, enjoy it. Spit swapping too, that's a thing. Water sports is just, you just have to like prepare.
Nah, that
I think I'm comfortable with that.
Like I'm not like
list.
I'm not like a huge fan, but it's not something like, oh goddamn, I just be like, I ain't got no like tarp.
Perhaps nah. I've seen enough water sports going on in my life. Like
Vanilla's good. Kind of boring. Nothing wrong with it. Oh yeah, nothing wrong with it.
No, nothing wrong is with boring. If that's what I wouldn't attribute it to boring, but if that's you, like she said, if that's you, that's you. By all means. When I think of vanilla, I think of conformity. And as both of y'all know, especially off air, when it comes to conformity, I am 100% V for Vendetta. I want to set all this shit on fire.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I think yeah, my thing with it just comes from like where your thoughts come from. Because even I think everybody has had at least, unless you were like fucking Anakin Skywalker for nasty shit, and like you were born like foot in their motherfucking mouth. Like you all like kind of go through a little phase. And like as you like were like growing, I remember going like, I don't like that. And then if you have like a conversation with yourself, you'd be like, why you don't like that? Like because I'm kind of a bitch right now. Like, I just feel like, I don't know, there's way more technical terms, but I don't want to give you guys that. You just kind of backtrack it into, I'm scared, I'm afraid of this, or I'm conditioned to think otherwise. I think, no disrespect to y'all, like, I think my granny would have on me and stuff. And while that might be true, she finna die. And I have a long time to be out here enjoying myself. So if I think to myself, hey, man, it'd be great if I got a hand job in the middle of fucking the aisle while we're at the store. I don't have to finish it. I just want it to happen. God damn it, that's what I'm finna do. My thing, I think it correlates better. If you are one of these like mildly vanilla people, I'm supposed to fuck you for the rest of my life. Hell yeah, we finna do some outlandish shit. Put this shit up your ass while we go to church. What's wrong with you? Think I'm finna sit? What? Hell yeah. I want to wear these electric nipple clamps while we go to your mama's house and just see if I can hold on while the fuck she talking to me about stupid shit.
I'm with that type stuff.
Yeah, fuck wrong with y'all.
Don't look at me.
How can you really know if you like or don't like something if you never try? That's a good point. I mean, I also know I don't want to be shot, but I feel you.
Right.
Sure, you got to do the rule of 3. You have to try something 3 times at least to see if you like it. Because the first time you're absolutely positively are going to hate it. And it's just like, because it's new, you don't know what to do or how you're going to feel. The second time, you're now using your brain a little bit, gauging whether or not you're liking it. By the third time, I'm pretty sure you'll like it.
But the same thing can be said as far as men being vulnerable and expressing themselves. I'm an advocate for express yourself even if it's not a safe space, because you have to be your own safe space. I know that sounds weird, but you have to carry the discomfort and confidence within yourself to be able to speak your truth regardless of what's in front of you. But discern and understand she may not be a safe space for me to be myself. She's not supportive, which means I need to leave, but I'm comfortable enough to leave with me and my story and my truth intact. But be vulnerable enough to share your shit regardless. And the rule of 3, share you. I'm vulnerable with you. She responded a certain way. I was vulnerable with her again. She was actually a little bit more receptive this time. She's getting better at it. I was vulnerable with her again. Now she's asking me how she can be better at this because she realized she sucked at it the first 2 times. Like, give it some time for us. That's us being accountable for whatever it is that we struggle with, whether it's male, female, family, platonic relationship, monogamy, whatever type of relationship that it is. Allow yourself to get into that space multiple times so you can see, I can be comfortable doing this. I know the topic was sexual stuff, but just in general, you have to be able to allow yourself to try shit multiple times to see how you can maneuver within that space.
I think that's a good way to because when you said be comfortable in your truth, I think people should learn how to vet their truth.
Yes.
I feel like people lean into that sometimes as an excuse. That's my truth. It's like your truth built on bullshit. But I think that ties into what you said about the 3 times thing, maybe 4, I don't know how many times it takes, because I'm gonna test my truth.
Mm-hmm.
That's at least for me a little bit. As y'all said that, I was like, well, that's kind of my own little backhanded method of figuring out if my truth is really my truth. I'm like, I believe this shit. But let me try something real quick. I don't believe this as much as I thought I did, or I believe it hard as fuck, and everything y'all said was trash because But if you don't test your truth, I feel like a lot of people lean on the fact that obviously, I'm not talking about because I'm literally talking to you niggas. That's my truth and live your truth. I'm like, y'all only want to live your truth when shit gets somebody tested. Well, that's my truth. That's how I just, I would never ever. Okay. I know let's bring it back to sex because I'm good at that. We've talked about before. Niggas truths. Lie to you niggas. I know y'all. We was in the same class. I remember y'all truth was I never eat no pussy. That was your truth like a motherfucker. Until y'all was in there and had the Richard Pryor moment. Could not wait. As soon as the opportunity presented itself, you know what? I don't need the 3rd time. I actively was full of shit on my truth. So I just feel like if y'all maybe we can take it outside of pussies and put it on whatever else.
That's one thing. Even with that, that's one thing I appreciated about myself because I remember them times where dudes was like, I never eat pussy, this that, and I was the only dude since junior high school that I'll do it.
I knew I was lying when niggas was like, I never eat no ass. I was like, me too. I was lying. Asses would walk by as I said that, and I was like,
whatever,
right in that motherfucker.
Especially because I was a late bloomer. With me being a late bloomer, whatever is going to get me the response that I'm looking for and get me a positive grade from her, I'm doing it.
Put it on a t-shirt. But hey, you like the fact I just correlated pussy to life. Pussy is life, man. Let's get some drugs in here. That makes sense. That's it. He came out one of the motherfuckers. He appreciates him.
I'm about to say you got to be inclusive of the group. But
Dick
okay,
too. Dick is life. Whatever is life. Whatever you into.
We can say sex is life.
Sex is life. Orifice is life. Everybody sticking something in something. It's Pride Month, man. Get in there.
You showed Felix's response. The rule of 3 is something that he thinks he's definitely going to try.
Oh shit! I definitely said I'd never ever. Ever is tough. I'm glad you changed because I don't believe anybody don't put their mouth on somebody else's happiness.
Like I said, I learned very early that you should put your mouth on people. It'll be better for you if you're willing to try it.
I was one of those people too, though. Never, ever, 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 ever for a while. Something happened in my life, and a switch was you know what? If it happens, it happens.
I said I'll do it, but I didn't like it when I first tried it. I was a piece of shit early, boy. So I was like, this is for me. You've been making this the whole time down here?
Yes.
That's crazy. Why didn't you put it in the brochure? I just started this shit way earlier. That's wow. You should have never hid this for me. No disrespect, Pop, or anything, but I love it down here. It's crazy.
Filthy.
Yeah.
Filthy. Go ahead. I think the one before. Yeah, that's the one.
I'm saving that one. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
No, she wrote that just really well.
Okay.
God strike me down. You was 13. I was a piece of shit at 13.
Oh yeah.
This motherfucker stood up for no reason.
13. I was already deep into porn.
Yeah, it was 13 was just it didn't even make sense.
Up, lady. You put the computer in my room. Oh, it's a wrap.
That
You
and it was
delete the search history cookies. I learned that shit real quick.
yeah, 13 was dumb. I was like, is that a hip? That's a hip because I wouldn't say ass real. Like she got her hips out, nigga. Was that an elbow? Yeah.
To be a teenage boy, I'm so happy I wasn't.
There you go. That's the one.
Yeah.
Feed you. Good job.
Ryback
So
status.
proud.
Feed me more. I appreciate that. We need more like you. We need more feed me mores when it comes to the giving and receiving of head. Be fallacious out here. It's okay to be fallacious or cunniless.
At fucking all times. Because whatever, I'm so glad that like I don't know what era that is. Maybe like I think our parents' era where that was like a thing. Like, this is your birthday. Dog, I would have literally started World War IV.
Mhm.
Like I would have skipped 3 and went straight to fucking Vandal Savage. Because are you nuts, nigga? Like niggas out here, I never know. You're crazy.
But that was a societal norm of like you were looked at a certain way for doing oral stuff.
Oh, this is going up. This nigga is Felix is my best friend. Niggas don't respect the classics. By 13, I found the holy trinity of porn: Pinky, Cherokee, and Jada Fire. Niggas say Jada Fire, they know what they talking about.
Absolutely. He was 13 at that time. I was already probably I think I'm older than y'all by like 3-4 years. I had long been explored.
Like it's no diss to Cherokee or like Pinky, but
No,
like
not at all.
Like Jada was somebody that was like she likes her job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I was a little bit before that, so I was getting hip to like at 13, like Obsession.
Oh, wow, go back.
Yeah.
Go back.
The filthy light skin.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's
not bad.
That's not. I'm not proud of that because that is an addiction that I had to get under control at some point. But yes,
You remember Roxy Reynolds and shit. Like we had a real Hall of Famer. I don't know who's out there now. It just
I'm trying not to judge the fact that you guys are really bonding over porn stars, and I'm just like, who the fudge are these people?
because we didn't feel safe enough to talk about or do certain things that we would see in these movies. We had no other way but to turn to these.
Look at this motherfucker. Look, man, this is the greatest nigga. Are y'all listening to the Get Right? It's on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Well,
y'all hear the commercial, hey, heathens and hoes, when we always talk about that. That's
y'all out
there.
there, y'all out there
go.
pretending to like, dance it up in church. Don't do it. Come on here.
Yes. This is a safe space for everyone to come and vent and talk about all their transgressions and frustrations and just their kinks.
Man.
Or lack thereof in certain areas.
So proud of everybody on this. Look, everybody's a dirtbag on this network.
Everybody is filthy, but we need to have safer spaces. See, we are like you posted that thing and people feel safe to come to you. We are the podcast where people feel safe enough to come here and be filthy in a dignified manner.
If you're listening live, you got 9 seconds.
Oh yeah.
YouTube, we're gonna probably like
on the app. We'll see you guys next week. You guys will be out of here.
Goodbye.
Have fun. Bye. For everyone that's watching on YouTube, we will continue this party a little bit longer. But yes, we are the safe space when it comes to podcasting for people to come and release their filthiness as they should. We appreciate you being filthy here with us.
That's how my dick used to feel when Sky Black was on screen.
Oh. Younger
I don't got nothing else for y'all.
Younger Sky Black.
That's how it was.
There's so many names that we
Like
can
that
go
was a
through.
happy release, happy ending for you right now.
The happiest. All right, man. I don't know, man.
Can I do something for you?
This is the one. Don't need respect to. See y'all fuckers next Tuesday. Go watch some. Go touch somebody.
Go touch yourself too.
Touch yourself.
Touch both of y'all consensually.
Touch yourself in front of each other.
Yes.
Yeah, and then finish, then start over. Put it in some stuff.
Don't watch porn naked.
I don't know where I'm going with this.
Just I'm going away until next Tuesday at 4:30.
And I'm feeling like it's never too much. And I know it sounds funny, but I gotta say, I never had a love